so that will give me the room, the necessary room to get this done. Mark these so you know which one. Just gotta mark one. Alright, so there's that. Alright, we broke this loose to begin with, so let's get that out of the way. Real nice and easy, like, man. So, I do believe this is aluminum. Okay, so now we should have a washer here. Okay. Remember which way it was. I don't think it matters. Yeah, it does matter because one side's rounded, right? The one on the side that faces up and the bottom side's flat. Alright, so we should have enough room here. Pull everything up with it. Okay, I'm gonna lay that right out of the way. Watch your screen back here. You might want to put something to keep it from scratching. Okay, so that's good there. You don't have to get too carried away. Alright, so now you should have a lock washer here. Right? You guys see that? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mark this. Okay, like that. And you should have some type of seal, or some type of rubber washer here. Okay. So now we're gonna need the tool to take that off. I'm just gonna fill this real quick and see how much resistance is there. Let me pop this off here. Yeah, so this turns pretty dang easy, right? So pay attention to that. Let me go put this back together. Kind of put that down out of the way. The less stuff you take off, the better, because that allows you to figure out where all the wiring and cables go pretty easily. So this is one of your special tools you're going to need if you're going to be servicing these bikes. I mean, you might as well get one. Be careful, because this thing can swing the whole way now. Okay. And that wasn't too tight. You know what I mean? So now we got to reposition this. Alright, so like I said, you gotta be ready, because this will drop down through the bottom. That's why you have to get everything underneath off. So you're ready for this. Alright, so I'm gonna go underneath and just be sure I'm not gonna hit anything. Alright, so you're gonna wiggle this thing out of here. Okay guys, just like that. So let's get everything cleaned up. Inspect everything. I'm sure the races and bearings are fine. You know, I'm only doing this to repack the grease. So, so let's take, and of course you're gonna need a couple seals, one for the bottom and one for the top. And I'll get you the part numbers here in a second. You know, looking at this grease, you know, it doesn't look bad, but you know, this is called preventive maintenance, guys. Preventive maintenance. Yeah, so we're gonna clean this up with kerosene real good and repack them. Get rid of this here seal. We'll inspect the races. I mean, you guys see it squishing out the sides there. That seal. We're gonna get up in here. We'll get up in here and clean all the old grease out. I can see a little bit of moisture. You see the darker stuff? Moisture. Alright, and you got this sealing washer up here, which you always want to replace with new. Okay, get rid of that. We have our race here. Alright. Of course, I'm using kerosene. Let's probably get too much stuff in here. Alright, so we got everything cleaned up. We're going to install our new seal. So get that out of the way. Of course, we inspected everything. There ain't nothing going on here. Like I said, this bike's only got 15K on it, so this top one I'm still waiting in the mail, but all I did, guys, I mean, this thing still feels okay. So I'm just gonna reuse this one. I mean, I cleaned it up, and you know, I think it'll be all right. So when you guys take this stuff out, lay it so you know which way it goes without, you know, have to think about too much. But if this bike was a part. Alright, so let's get this seal on. Okay, again, you're going to need some type of lithium soap-based grease. Okay, I like using this. So it's not waterproof. Okay, this is just water resistant. So some of you guys may want some waterproof stuff. I don't ride in the rain, so it's not that big of a deal. And this stuff stays put. This stuff here, so it's a little bit more expensive, but definitely worth the money. So let's get the book out. Okay, so here's the part number for your lower seal: 3FV-23462-00, and that's for the bottom one. Things to note: so they want Loctite, of course, on the bolts that hold this shroud on. This plastic cover where the brake lines route through and whatnot. Let's see what else here. Alright, so of course we're gonna put some lithium soap based grease, you know, on the stem, a little bit on the stem, and of course the seals on the lips, and then on the bearings themselves. So pretty straightforward stuff here, guys. So let's get this seal on real quick. We're gonna put some lithium soap based grease, and you can tell which way this went, the old one. So it went like this, not like this. Went like this, facing towards the grease. So let's put a little bit of grease on this one. Alright, slip that old girl over there. Okay, and it doesn't have a wire inside of it. It's just a rubber seal. Just want to make sure it's seated all the way down here. Bearings, so we're going to pack this full of grease. It's a hole like this. And mind you, it's 110 degrees out. So if that gives you an idea, I mean, the grease is still pretty good at those temps. Okay, I want you to pack as moderately. Okay, so that means a lot. Okay, I'm just totally packing the inside of it. Alright, so let's put a little bit of grease around here. But that's the gist of it. We'll do the same with the top one here. We'll get it ready to install. Pack it full of grease, and then, because we're going to do this all in one swoop. Alright, so I'm also going to put a little bit of grease. I'm going to put a little bit of grease up in this, on this race. Actually, both of them. Alright, so we are going to put a little bit of grease right here also. This is where the top race, the inner race sits. So we're just going to put just a thin layer. Alright, so get everything laid out here. Just a few, you know, the nut. And then this washer has to go on over top of the bearings. And I also want you to grease the lips here on the outer edge. So go ahead and grease that up. So get your greased up bearing down in here first, like so. Okay. Okay, of course your outer race is already in there, but we never changed it, remember? And then we'll put our grease this up. We're going to put our inner race in right now. Okay. Make sure everything moves good, everything spins good. Alright, so we got that straightened out. And technically we could put this on right now. We could put this on right now. Just like so. Okay, push that down. Awesome, let's get our stem up through there. And of course, you can put this in backwards, guys. Okay, so, you know, don't start up in there like this. I mean, there's a couple ways to identify which way. You got the mounting point for the dampener on the left side, and of course where your pinch bolts are at. I'm going to go ahead and start this on. Alright guys, so we're about halfway done. This is the time to stop and take a look at everything and make sure you're headed in the right direction. So we'll verify our seals in right up here. And also put a little bit of grease where this nut meets the surface of that washer with the rubber on it. That allows it to turn real smooth and tighten up. You know, you just want to verify nothing's funny going on, everything's moving. So that's why they want you to lubricate this washer up here, because it actually turns with everything. I never noticed that, but I guess it would, because it sandwiches up against the inner race of the bearing. So that's why they want you to lubricate that. So now we have to set the tension of this. This is why I marked it, so I can have a good starting point to know where to tighten it. It's not that hard, but it's definitely something you can mess up. And so you're gonna make sure that your sill seats correctly whenever you push it up in there. All right, just want to make sure it's centered. Make sure nothing funny goes on. All right, so this is a very important step. Okay, so we're adjusting the steer head by tightening the lower ring nut to a certain spec. Okay, so the first tightening, the first step here. Okay, the initial tightening is to 38 foot-pounds. Okay, we're gonna do that. Then we're gonna back it off to 0, and then we're gonna tighten it to 10. Okay, and then after that, we're gonna check for looseness, and we're gonna check and make sure there's no binding and everything moves freely. So, if you guys remember, I marked this nut. Okay, so right now it's pretty much finger tight. It's finger tight. My mark's over here. Okay, so it should end up about right here. Come on, man. Okay, I got the handlebars turned all the way to the right. So let me get up here and look at this. Alright, so that's 90. So let's see here. Alright, so I'm going to have to readjust this. And what we're doing is we're seating the bearings right now by torquing it to this higher value. Okay, so we should be getting close here. Okay, there it is. Okay, so that's 38 foot-pounds. Now we have to back it off to 0 and then tighten it to 10. So right now everything still moves. So we gotta loosen this completely, it says. Turn it like there. Okay, so you're gonna do what you gotta do to get this loose. I'm just gonna turn this by hand. Let that turn. Alright, so let's go take a look at something. Okay, so let's go 10 foot-pounds here. There it is. So I'm not 90, it's actually 90. So let's see here. Yeah. See that, guys? It's not real audible click.